How to control any conversation without speaking for most powerful person in any conversation isn't necessarily the one talking the most. In fact, it's often the person who speaks the least while maintaining complete control over the flow, direction, and outcome of the interaction. Today, we're going to explore the sophisticated art of conversational control through strategic silence, nonverbal influence, and psychological positioning that allows you to guide discussions exactly where you want them to. Go without saying a word. This isn't about manipulation or deception. This is about understanding how conversations actually work beneath the surface, and using that knowledge to create better outcomes for everyone involved while maintaining your psychological advantage. The psychology of conversational power. Most people believe that speaking more gives them more control over conversations. This is completely backwards. The person who feels compelled to fill every silence, explain every point, and respond to every comment is actually being controlled by the conversation rather than controlling it. True conversational control comes from understanding that communication is largely nonverbal and that the person who remains calm, centered, and strategically engaged holds the real power in any interaction. When you speak less, several psychological dynamics shift in your favor. Your words carry more weight because they're scarce. People listen more carefully when you do speak because they know you choose your words deliberately. Your silence creates space for others to reveal information, motivations, and vulnerabilities they might otherwise keep hidden. The power of strategic silence. As strategic silence is your most powerful conversational tool. It's not passive quiet, it's active, purposeful non-speech that accomplishes specific psychological objectives. When someone makes a statement and you remain silent, you force them to elaborate, justify, or reconsider their position. Most people are uncomfortable with conversational silence and will rush to fill it, often revealing more than they intended. This technique works because silence creates psychological pressure. The person speaking starts to wonder if you disagree, if you're judging them, or if they need to provide more information. This uncertainty drives them to continue talking, giving you valuable intelligence about their thoughts, motivations, and concerns. Use strategic pauses after important statements to let them sink in. When someone shares significant information, don't immediately respond. Let the weight of their words hang in the air. This pause often prompts them to add crucial details or clarifications. Nonverbal conversation. Control your body language, facial expressions, and energy level. Guide conversations more powerfully than words. When you want to encourage someone to continue talking, lean slightly forward, maintain appropriate eye contact, and nod occasionally. These subtle signals give them permission and encouragement to elaborate. When you want to discourage a line of discussion, withdraw your attention slightly. Lean back, reduce eye contact, or let your expression become neutral. Most people will unconsciously sense your decreased engagement and shift to topics that recapture your interest. Your emotional state also influences conversation flow. When you remain calm and centered, others tend to match your energy level, creating more thoughtful and productive discussions. If you become agitated or anxious, conversations often become chaotic and unproductive. The art of strategic question while This technique focuses on controlling conversations without speaking. Strategic questions are the exception because they accomplish control through minimal speech. While gathering maximum information, ask open-ended questions that require detailed responses. Instead of questions that can be answered with yes or no, ask questions that begin with what, how, or why. These force the other person to reveal their thinking process and provide you with valuable insights. Use clarifying questions to guide conversations toward topics you want to explore. When you say X, do you mean Y? Or help me understand how that relates to Z can redirect discussions, while appearing genuinely curious rather than controlling. The mirror question technique involves reflecting their words back as questions. If someone says this project is really challenging, you might respond with challenging in what way? This keeps them talking while demonstrating that you're listening. Carefully reading and responding to conversational cues develop the ability to read others' verbal and nonverbal cues to understand what they really want to communicate. Often, what people say is less important than how they say it and what they don't say. Watch for topics that generate energy and enthusiasm versus those that create tension or withdrawal. People reveal their true priorities and concerns through these energy shifts, giving you valuable information about how to guide the conversation effectively. Pay attention to what people avoid discussing or quickly move away from. These avoided topics often contain the most important information and can be explored later. When the person feels more comfortable, creating psychological safety sporadically, controlling conversations often requires making others feel safe to share openly. When people feel judged or criticized, they become guarded and reveal less information. Create safety through your listening quality and non-judgmental presence. When people feel truly heard and accepted, they often share more than they initially intended, giving you deeper insights into their motivations and concerns. You're calm. Accepting energy encourages others to be more open and honest, which ultimately gives you more influence over the conversation's direction and outcome. Professional applications in business settings. Conversational control through strategic silence is incredibly valuable. During negotiations, the person who speaks first after a proposal is often at a disadvantage. Your silence after making an offer forces the other party to respond, often revealing their true position or concerns. In meetings, selective engagement allows you to guide discussions toward productive outcomes. Respond enthusiastically to valuable contributions, while remaining neutral toward time-wasting tangents. This subtle guidance helps meetings stay focused without appearing controlling. When dealing with difficult colleagues or clients, strategic silence often diffuses tension more effectively than verbal responses. Your calm presence and thoughtful pauses can transform hostile interactions into productive conversations. Social situation mastery in social settings. Conversational control helps you avoid getting trapped in boring or negative discussions, while steering interactions toward topics you find engaging and valuable. Use your attention and engagement strategically. People compete for the attention of those who seem selective about what interests them. By being genuinely engaged with some topics and neutral toward others, you train people to bring you more interesting conversations. Your strategic silence also positions you as someone who listens well and thinks deeply, attracting people who value meaningful conversations over superficial chatter. Advanced Technique Quest. Strategic Reader Act involves acknowledging someone's statement briefly, then shifting attention to related topics you prefer to explore. This validates their contribution while guiding the conversation toward your interests. The energy matching technique involves subtly matching, then gradually shifting the conversation's emotional tone. If someone starts angry, you might match their intensity level while remaining calm, then gradually lower the energy to create a more productive discussion. The assumption technique involves responding to what someone implies, rather than what they explicitly state. This often leads to deeper, more revealing conversations by addressing underlying concerns or motivations. Managing difficult conversational situations when faced with aggressive or manipulative conversational partners. Strategic silence becomes especially powerful. Aggressive people often rely on provoking reactions to maintain control. Your calm non-reaction neutralizes their primary weapon. For people who dominate conversations, selective engagement teaches them which topics earn your attention. Over time, even chronic talkers learn to focus on subjects that generate your interest and engagement. When dealing with emotional manipulation, strategic silence prevents you from being drawn into drama while encouraging the other person to focus on facts rather than emotions. Long-term conversational relationships contains application of these techniques gradually shifts your relationships with regular conversational partners. They learn that you're someone who listens thoughtfully and speaks meaningfully, which tends to elevate the quality of all your interactions. People also develop respect for your conversational style and often prepare more carefully for discussions with you because they know you won't engage with superficial or poorly thought out communication. The ultimate conversational power. Master the art of controlling conversations without speaking, and you'll discover that influence comes not from talking people into things, but from creating conditions where they talk themselves into the outcomes you prefer. Your strategic silence, thoughtful presence, and selective engagement become powerful tools that guide discussions exactly where you want them to go while making others feel heard, understood, and valued. True conversational mastery lies not in dominating through speech, but in leading through listening, influencing through presence, and controlling through the sophisticated use of strategic silence. You